Right. Good morning and welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 27th of March. So let's get cracking, look through these markets, potential impact news this morning. There's not a lot here. We've really got, I'll say this morning, today, we've got the German IFO business climate out at 9 a.m. I think that's wrong. It should be 10 o'clock because, I don't know, actually it's normally 10 o'clock, but at 9 o'clock it may be. And then we got the Bank of England governor speaking at 6 p.m. Just checking I've got the right time on here, 7:42. That was the last update, that's fine. It's running at the right time. So there we are, that's what we got this morning or today. Not a great deal there in terms of risk. So we can get on and look at the technicals. Starting off looking at the euro dollar, put a bit of a pivot swing in here. It's quite a bearish little signal. If we see the break of the underside of the pivot hit triggered, that's it would be even more bearish, but it is looking a tad weak where it sits at the moment. If we just come down the time frames a little bit, you can see that it's at the moment showing a bit of a bear flag on the 4 hourlies, and you see it a bit more clearer on the dailies here, hourlies. What I'm looking at, and I'm drawing this badly at the moment because we've got I'm drawing it even worse than I should have, but I'm just looking at the bear flag that's sitting here at the moment. Now it's pre 8 o'clock, lots of things happen after 8 o'clock which might take this out and through, in which case I'll just leave it alone. But a close of this bar, after the close of this bar, I can fully assess this. But really looking at the price action we're seeing here, simple flag pattern, so I'll look to see if that breaks over. So there you go, something I'm looking at this morning. The pound dollar, similar picture really, same principle, sitting there, potential for its prior lows, the S1 sort of area. Just be a bit careful with the targeting if you were trading that one, but certainly looking a tad softer on the shorter time frame. Let's just look at the upper time frame. Again, it's got a bit of a swing at the top there, quite bearish pattern. It's broken its main trend going up there, had a divergence over the top there, so it's the current trend has come to a bit of an end on it, and it is, as I say, looking just that tad weaker. Okay, dollar yen. So dollar yen, well, this has been heading southbound. It's in a downward direction. Is it going to change? It's got the first signs of some crackling, but it's still crackling. Still thinking of Christmas dinner, Sunday dinner. So there we go. So it's not broken its trend yet. It's still showing the signs of lower highs, lower lows, potential rollover victim, but it has put this higher low in, so it's a bit of a mix up there. Probably best avoided this morning, and patience needed. Aussie dollar. Aussie's been a softer one. Yesterday, Friday, it sold off relatively strongly there. It's got a bear flag sitting there at the moment and looking quite soft. However, again, waiting till post 8 o'clock, see what happens. We could see the breakdown of this again, the flag pattern that's sitting there. So there's at least 3 majors here looking very similar at the moment. US dollar CAD, the inverted pairing, you can see on Friday that popped up. It broke the sort of flag pattern to the upside. Whether it will continue is a question today, just as the others are, whether they'll continue to the downside. Quite choppy on the 4 hourlies here, quite ugly looking pattern really at the moment, and it's below its daily pivot. If the other markets were all softening, I'd prefer to see this, the US dollar gaining on this one as well, effectively, and pushing upwards. It's not at the moment. It's looking quite contrary on that at the moment, so I'll leave that one alone. Too mixed, not playing ball. New Zealand dollar, no good there. Looking through some of the other markets, and it's a bit of a pickle, some of these at the moment. The euro pairs, euro yen, really. Oops, sorry, I come back to euro yen and getting ahead of myself here. Just this is only looking at on an hourly basis, but catching the bounce. We saw a double bottom coming in. I say double bottom, but yet another bottom coming in on Friday there, and it's pushing up and coming down the time frames, then higher lows. Euro just striking against the yen a little there. Euro Aussie, much more of a mess. I was looking at this, yep, much more of a mess there. Euro CAD, again, much more of a mess. So these other pairings, I was looking at the pound Aussie. We're trading this last week, and it looks like again a mess best avoided. Aussie New Zealand, we'll just have a quick look at this. It's been generally served me quite well, but at the moment I don't like what it's doing, so I'll stand clear of it. I'm looking at the sort of bearish flag that's still sort of sitting there. We've been trading it on the downside largely, and I'm still looking to trade it on the downside, bearing in mind what we're seeing on the bigger time frames here, but there's nothing there right now. Okay, we'll leave the Forex markets there for now. We'll crack on, look at gold first. Morning guys. Look at gold first. Well, we've got the rally on gold kicking through here on the dailies. It's sort of been the main focus. Bit of softening coming through with the again stronger dollar coming through here. A bit of softening, double top, probably a diverge. Or it wouldn't be because it's got a higher previous high was higher. But even that said, just looks a bit on the softer side. Already hit the S1 here. If it carries on pushing through, there's a good probability it will hit the S2. I would like to see a little retrace and then sell off before I was going to do anything like that though. Crude, just come up the time frames here. So crude oil, yeah, Friday it did roll back, but managed to regain some of its losses later on. It's currently trying to put a higher low in there. You see inverted head and shouldery pattern sitting there. Maybe it's got more upside to be carried through here. I mean, it is right down at 60. It was at $64 on here on the Western Texas. One thing to watch out for here is the potential resistance coming into those prior lows. So that's sitting with its monthly S1 there. So just be wary of that. Okay, nothing to do there for me at the moment. Let's go quickly through these markets, equity markets. So CSI 300 still to me is a bearish looking market. The Nikkei is trying its best here, but really even that's a bit of a bear flag sitting there. So bearish on those markets. The Nifty 50. Certainly it's a bearish looking market. It's popped up a bit this morning, as has many of the US markets and European markets, but these are all S&Ps. So popping up at the moment. To me, they're best left alone at this stage. There's quite a lot of choppiness on the lower time frames. If I come down the time frames, you can see the chop on a 4-hourly chart. There's a real, I mean, we're going through this sort of banking crisis again, hopefully not to the extent of what we saw last time, but certainly there's a lot of uncertainty out there now. It doesn't matter what people do at the moment. The markets get the heebie-jeebies, technical term that, when we see any banking sort of questions nowadays, and this is what we're seeing through the equity markets. The outperformer in that case then is the tech market, and we're seeing the Nasdaq there holding up better than most of its peers. Coming across to Europe then, and the DAX this morning. DAX picking up a break above the prior high there from the 22nd. Would be a bit more bullish. That'd give us a higher low. It's been a bit of a mess. I mean, last week, just looking through, regained and then started giving it back again, but quite messy overall. Today, well, I'm just very wary of this price action. Maybe it'll eventually break those prior highs there and look a bit more bullish, but we'll see what happens when we get going properly today. the FTSE chopping around here, just coming through the time frames here, down the time frames a little bit. With its it seems to be running off this morning. Whether I'll trust it beyond that, it's already hit the daily pivot R1. It'll be all over for me in terms of potential scope, so we'll see what happens. But at the moment it could be turning the corner. These all could be turning the corner. Have we really sorted out the fears of the banks collapsing? Okay, that's pretty much it. I'll just have a look and see what Bitcoin's done over the weekend. A bit more sport than anything else on Bitcoin. Okay, well, did the other way around. It bought on Saturday, sold on Sunday. This morning, catching the bounce a little bit here. Sorry, this is a 1 hourly, not daily. There we go. Did buy on Sunday. That's okay. Bought on Saturday and Sunday there, beg your pardon. Just chopping along where it is at the moment. Coming off slightly, but still overall it is holding up around the highs there, so there is the potential for it to push on through. Perhaps we're waiting for the new month to see some more volumes coming through here. It's sitting up above its R2. It's rare to see a market run through its R3, particularly when the pivots are reasonably spread out here. Okay, leave it there. Have a great day, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Morning, Ritu. Catch you later. Bye for now. Here we go. That's not you in the trading room.